The New York Jets have signed another player from a college that is becoming increasingly more familiar to Jets fans as Darren Mougey continues to build out this roster exactly what he wants it to look like, and we got to break it all down. So what's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Jets Digest. Let's hop right into the news for today. The signing that the New York Jets have made has been Mr. Tanner McCallister, picking him up out of free agency. He plays safety, and I know you see the picture right now. Comes from the Ohio State University, where he played there in 2022. Do we know anyone else who played there in 2022? Maybe Josh Myers, maybe Justin Fields, maybe Garrett Wilson, maybe I'm blanking on our tight ends, our backup tight end, Jeremy Ruckert. Maybe Jeremy Ruckert. Let's hop into the exact news. What we got coming from Heavy.com. McCallister, 25 years old, is another former Ohio State product. He entered the league as an undrafted free agent in 2023. During his rookie season, he was with the Cleveland Browns on their practice squad. This past season, he was with the Denver Broncos. Over the last 2 years, he has appeared in 6 games at the NFL level. While he is listed as a defensive back, a safety, he has only played 19 snaps on defense. Where McCallister has really cut his teeth is on special teams. He appeared in 44% of special team snaps for the Browns in 2023 and 70% of the special team snaps for the Denver Broncos in 2024 per Pro Football Reference. Now, don't blame the misspellings on me. That was them, not me. We got a special teams ace, or hopefully ace, coming through here for the New York Jets. Brings to the table speed, he brings to the table strength, brings power, brings tenacity. What's most important is we are continuing to flesh out, figure out the exact depth of how deep we want to go with this roster. We actually have some of these pros for this football player when he was coming out of school from NFL Draft Buzz. In the run game, he's aggressive coming downhill and a short tackler. He's physical at the line of scrimmage, showing unexpected power in his hands. He's a willing and capable hitter in run support and closes fast to make plays against quick screens. Closes to the ball quite well and possesses the hands to snatch throws away from his frame. Strong hands to make plays on the ball. An effective blitzer who shows well-coached technique and awareness. Now, I love that last point that they made, awareness. That is something that this defense lacked greatly last year under Robert Saleh for a little bit. And then Jeff Ulbrich, the penalties were off the charts. We need guys who are smart enough to not make mistakes. But we know we are losing special teams players left and right. So now they are, Darren Mougey and Aaron Glenn are bringing in another special teams player to fill out the back of that roster. But don't just think of this guy as a special teams player. He's also a safety. We have to, obviously, we don't get extra roster spots for our special teamers, so we will be rostering him as a safety deep down on the depth chart. Safety is a position where we are kind of struggling. We don't have a ton of high-end talent. Yes, we have Andre Sisco and Tony Adams and Malachi Moore, but we don't really have that guy. Just a couple of years ago, we had the best safety tandem in all of football. You could argue that it led to no playoff success, so how important are they really? But the way I like to see it is it's certainly a position that we can improve at. And with signing Tanner McCallister, it is a no-risk signing that maybe he is a guy who can get into that safety position and make a difference. We read about the pros that he brings to his game, and he brings a lot of physicality. He is someone who isn't blown away in the run game, meaning when offensive linemen are going to block him, he's not as easy to block as you would think. Yes, he's a defensive back, but as you can see from this picture, pretty thickly built dude. He's not a pushover in any sense of the word, and that's why I'm very excited to have this guy coming in to the special teams unit and hopefully being able to make a difference there, because special teams are highly, highly underrated in my personal opinion. Just last year, we watched the Kansas City Chiefs. There were a bunch of games that they should have lost or could have lost, and their special teams, whether it was a huge punt return or a blocked kick, they just kept winning games off of special teams. Special teams makes a huge difference that people don't like to give it credit for. Now, let's talk about the other move that the New York Jets made. Actually, before we look at the other moves that the New York Jets made today, let's take a look at his college stats real quick. Started off at Oklahoma State and then went ahead and transferred to Ohio State to play with Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson that season. But, not his stats don't jump off the chart, which is obviously why he was not drafted. Played 12 games as a senior, putting up 24 combined tackles and had 3 interceptions, which is pretty good to see. always need ball hawkers, always want guys who can force turnovers to force, big plays for the defense. You can give up a ton of yards if at the end of the drive you're able to force a turnover. Obviously, that's a huge difference maker, and we're always looking for ball hawks, especially on a defense who our best guy, let's face it, Sauce Gardner, the exact opposite of a ball hawk. His game is breaking up passes, not intercepting them, but at the end of the day, the best defenses in the league are going to be able to force a lot of turnovers. The Jets need to find ways to get more interceptions. Now, let's move on to the next guy. This is Mr. Jared Bartlett, a linebacker who the New York Jets, unfortunately, did have to go ahead and cut this afternoon, making room for Tanner McCallister. Jared Bartlett was cut. Obviously, people watching this video probably don't know who this guy was, so that's just the move that the New York Jets made to free up a roster spot. Obviously, we have a certain amount of guys that we can have in our training camp. Not everyone can stay. When you add in Tanner McCallister, you do have to unfortunately let someone go, and in that situation, that guy was Jared Bartlett. Now, we are just reeling from that Justin Fields news that he was injured, and either Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport, some big-time guy, put out the fact that people were scared that that was going to be an Achilles. Obviously, great to hear that Justin Fields is pretty much going to be just fine. He's going to miss out on that training camp, the training camp reps, which he desperately needs because he needs to get chemistry with the rest of our wide receivers. We complained so much about last year how Aaron Rodgers, he wasn't in training camp enough and he didn't have the right chemistry with our wide receivers. And now Justin Fields is just going ahead, and not his fault, but the same thing's happening where our quarterback, we're getting a new quarterback coming in. Aaron Rodgers, for the most part, was new. He only played 4 snaps the prior year, so he was pretty much a new quarterback that comes in, doesn't have enough chemistry with the wide receivers, and then come week 1, we don't even know what's going on. There are reports right now that Justin Fields might not even be ready for week 1. Obviously, that would be pretty catastrophic. I want to see Justin Fields have at least the opportunity to get revenge on the Pittsburgh Steelers for not re-signing him. I know that is going to be a big motivational factor when it comes to his thinking of whether or not he will be playing week 1. But he's got to be able to trust whatever the doctors are telling him. The doctors are trying to protect the player, and sometimes you got to protect the player from himself. But only a dislocated toe, not even the big toe on that right foot of Justin Fields. Pretty much as good as the news could have possibly been, although we did mention earlier in the video that came out today that during training camp, teams are a lot quicker to bring out the cart and they're a lot more cautious. So when a player gets carted off the field in training camp, it's nowhere close to as bad as getting carted off the field during a game. And a lot of that is during the game, you take pride in being tough, and you don't want to see yourself get carted off. So they only bring out the cart when it's really, really serious. And also, in training camp, a lot of the health facilities are far away from where the games are being played, or where the practices are being held, where the fields are. So instead of making your quarterback or whoever's injured limp and walk a pretty long distance to get the medical help that they need, they're just going to cart them instead of doing that big long walk. That's why Justin Fields was carted, even though the injury was not extremely serious. But this move shows that season is getting underway, and the New York Jets transactions are just ramping up. Darren, Mougey, Aaron Glenn, they are focused on putting out the best the best product is the word I'm looking for on the football field as they possibly can. And they're going to keep looking around for running backs, just any, and I don't know why I said running backs. They're looking around for any depth pieces that they can add to this team to put together the best New York Jets team that they possibly can for this season. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and go Jets.